All right. Hello, everybody. It is August 14th here,
Good
and
morning.
we are ready to go. Moving on through the year.
Good morning.
All right. How's everybody doing?
Great.
All right.
Awesome.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been busy. I've been making stuff and just keep on doing my thing. I tell you what, my year-end report is going to be absolutely spectacular this year because I just keep churning stuff out. And I'm going to show you guys like what I've been working on. I've been working on some lead magnets, and I've been stressing how important it is to give free stuff away to get people to know who you are. If they don't get to know you, they're never going to buy your stuff. And there's no better way to get them to like you and trust you than helping them. So instead of like what most people do is they'll get a hold of somebody and they'll immediately hammer them with their offer. That's not really the best way to start a relationship. In the dating world, that would be like meeting a girl and say, hey, let's have sex. You're probably going to get turned down. You might, one in a million might say, yeah, okay, let's go. But in sales, you don't want one in a million. You need a better conversion ratio than that. So you better have better tactics. So provide value, create an actual relationship before you ask for the sale. I've had several marketers that I've learned from over the years. It's funny how everybody relates. They all relate business and sales to a few different things. One of them being dating, and one of them being warfare. It's interesting. Warfare, dating, and sales. They're all kind of the same blend. But the way it relates to dating, and this is the way they've come across with this. Uh, it's an appropriate thing to ask someone if they want to purchase your product, just as it is an appropriate thing for a marriage proposal, but not on the first date. So if, I mean, think about it. If somebody came up to you and you'd never seen them before and they asked you if you wanted to get married, you'd probably think they were a freak, and chances are you're not going to say yes. You're probably going to like get a restraining order. And that's what you're doing in sales. If you're doing it that way, that's exactly what you're doing. You meet somebody at a conference and you just start hammering them with your product, that's what you're doing. You're asking them if they want to get married. They haven't even met you before. So you got to take a little different approach. And the more you give, and this is something I learned from Frank Kern. I learned some really interesting stuff from him. He's quite an interesting character. But one of the things that is foremost that I learned from him was don't be afraid to give away too much. Like some of his best marketing campaigns, like stuff where he charges thousands of dollars for, he gives away 90%. Like he will actually give you free training and take you 90% of the way there. And then he sells the last remaining 10% for a lot of money. And one of the things is you got to think about is your product, what problem does it solve or what benefit does it give? And you look at the size of that. Like, is that a huge problem that you're solving? Is it a huge benefit that you're offering? The bigger they are, the more they're worth. If somebody's got a massive problem and you come in, like let's say a manufacturer that's losing $10,000 a day because they don't know something that you know, that's worth a lot of money. I'm sure you guys have heard the old story about FedEx where the conveyor belt stopped and they're losing, tens of thousands of dollars a minute. And the guy comes to fix the machine and he looks at it, he walks over, he opens a panel, And he takes out a hammer and a screwdriver, and he puts the screwdriver on and he gives it a tap, and everything starts working again. Took him like 30 seconds to identify the problem, go to it, fix it, and they're on their way. And then he hands the FedEx manager the bill, and it was $10,000. And the guy looked at it, he's like, holy shit. He goes, $10,000 for what? And he said, well, it was $1 to take out the screwdriver and tap and fix the problem. It was 9,999 to know what the problem was. And the guy says, oh, okay, well, here's your check. So that's a valuable lesson as far as value. So if you are solving a problem of that, money's not an issue for it. But you've got to get the credibility and all that. So giving other things away is really important. Don't be afraid to give away too much. But that last thing that you give that actually gets them what they want, that's where the value is. That makes sense? So anyway, you got to figure out like in your circles, what do the people need? What do they want? Look at the timeline exercise specifically. Timeline is where they are. That's their point of reference. That's their timeline of where they are today. And generally that will have some kind of a hurdle that they're trying to get over that your product solves. So look at the timeline where they are, and then look at the other end of the timeline of where they want to be. Like if you could wave a magic wand and your product or service could move them down the timeline and get them what they want. What is that? That's one of the biggest questions that you have to answer is what is your prospect's desired outcome? Is it solving a problem? Is it getting something they've always wanted? Like some people are travel agents, they supply dream vacations. That's not a problem. That's something someone's always dreamed of. So it doesn't always have to be a problem, but it's still a desired outcome. You have to identify the desired outcome for you to create marketing that's effective. Arbo, go ahead.
All right, how you doing?
Good.
So, I just got off the phone with one of my clients because I'm really at this state of every business, I don't care what level your business is, they want a return and they want to get new clients. They want to make sales. They want to do whatever it is. That's what they all want, right?
That's what they say they want.
Correct. Thank you. So my question is that I start to backpedal and sometimes just frankly say no when I've been a web designer since the 90s. And people will come to me and they say they want a website. And recently they want a landing page, right?
Mhm.
So then when I start asking questions, it becomes apparent to me that no, they don't just simply because I charge them for the cost of designing the website or the landing page. But that is not what they want because I learned to start questioning. They want the result, which is they want those leads, they want those sales, they want whatever. And I am not willing to do that. I'm not going to do all of the marketing that it takes to get the success of the landing page.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do you deal with that?
Well, you're in the exact same situation that I was with SEO. I had people coming to me all day long wanting SEO. That's what they thought they wanted, but that wasn't really what they wanted. They wanted sales. And the truth of the matter is, if they hired me to do the SEO, just like if they hire you to do what they think they want, the outcome is not going to be there. So, what you've got to do is you've got to take them on a journey to discover their own problem. You have to take them on a self-guided tour. You can't tell them what their problem is because they don't want to hear it.
Hmm.
They have to come to the conclusion as though it's their thought. They have to come up with the idea. So like in SEO, whenever I was trying to sell an SEO project to a big company, I would always get the decision maker and I would talk to him not necessarily about SEO. We never talked about SEO. What I talked about to him was who is your ideal customer? Like if I could bring you one person that would change your business for the next year, who would that be? Tell me about them. And now, in their words, they're telling me who exactly they're looking for. And at that point, I'll ask them, okay, now that we know who we're looking for, what do you think that person would type in if they sat in front of a search engine to look for you? And then again, they're giving me the keywords. And then I let them actually do the exercise. I let them pull up in front of a computer. I say, hey, let's try it and see what happens. So they type in the words, they see the results, and this is where I come in really sneakily, and I'll like lean over their shoulder and look at the screen just like they're looking at it, and I'll say, wow, that's interesting. Do you recognize any of these people? And I already know the answer. They know who they are. It's their competitors. And when they say that, I say, wow, what do you figure it's costing you not to be here when your ideal customer is looking for you? The conversation never goes to SEO. It's just exposing the real problem of their not showing up and they need to solve that problem. We never go into SEO or how I do SEO or any of the process, any of that. I just basically let them discover the real actual problem, ripped a hole a mile wide in them. They're bleeding badly on the floor. Now's a good time to offer a band aid. And in my case, I never even had to offer the band aid, they asked for it. That was how I was so successful selling SEO to corporations and bigger companies. I like to focus on the 2 to 10 million dollar clients because you can still talk to the owner. You don't have all the bureaucracy, and they've got plenty of budget to solve the problems because they're making 2 to 10 million dollars. So they don't mind spending 10 grand here, 10 grand even a month to solve that problem. So that's how I did it. And in your case, it's the same thing. They're asking for something. But when I started working with smaller people, like that's not necessarily smaller people, but smaller businesses, I got into some groups like Craig Duswalt's group. And, these aren't big corporate people. These are people that are either trying to start a business or maybe they've been in one and they're struggling. They haven't quite figured it out yet. They haven't made the jump. And when they want SEO, I ask them a little different. I take them on a different journey. I say, I say I have a couple qualifying questions before I can even take you on as a client. And one of the first ones is who's your most profitable customer? And I'm trying to get to the segment. I'm trying to identify if are they sophisticated enough to know that they need to segment first. And that's the first step in the ACT program is segmentation. So I'm trying to figure out do they even know what I'm talking about? If they don't, odds are almost 100 to 1 that they have not got anything that's going to convert. Right? So that's what I'm trying to expose. I'm trying to expose a problem. And if the problem comes out, they can see it. And I tell them, I say, you don't really need traffic. Traffic's not your problem. Traffic is very rarely the problem. The problem almost always lies in conversion. Because if you can't convert, no amount of traffic in the world is going to save you. So that's where you have to expose the real problem and get them to understand what they really need And in your case, Arba, it's probably not a landing page. It's probably the messaging that goes on the landing page. Because you can build them a landing page that's not going to convert unless they have the messaging that is going to convert. And
Well,
unless they know
in many
marketing,
I'm sorry, in many cases, they do have a good product, a good messaging. I mean, because I believe that that's part of my job is to make sure that it's good messaging, they got a good product or whatever. But they don't want to do it, regardless of how good your landing page is, how good your marketing is, you have, I mean, not marketing, your message, you have to market it. You
yeah,
have to. You have to do some, you have to either do some networking to get people to it. You have to do some social media, engage. You have to pay for some ads. That's the part
yeah,
that I'm getting frustrated with is that they think there's a lot of people who still just think you build it and they'll come.
yeah, yeah. So if that's the case, if they've got the messaging right, and I know you said they had good messaging. Good messaging doesn't necessarily mean that's the right messaging.
Well, I'm using ACT. How
Okay.
about we reframe? Let me
Okay.
rephrase.
All right. If
I'm
you've got
using ACT and I'm using everything I have access to and know
okay.
about and everything to create the landing page.
Okay.
Okay. But getting the people to it, I don't do that. And I
Gotcha.
don't want to do it.
Okay. So then you actually are in a very unique position there where traffic is truly the problem for you.
Mhm.
It's very rare that that's the case, but in that case, you need to have the conversation with them that this is only a piece of what's going to get you what you want. This is just a mechanism, and this is how I used to describe it this way to these corporate clients. I would say because the landing page is nothing more than a brochure, right? And I would tell them, I said, in the real world, you'd never print a box of brochures and then leave it in the box under your desk. It wouldn't do you very much good, right? And they totally agree to that. They're like, yeah, we would never do that. And I said, the only way that that brochure is going to do any good for you is if you open the box, you take it out and you distribute it and you put it into the right hands. That is how that brochure is going to turn into money for you. And this is no different. This is just an electronic version of that. So you can describe it that way and you can say, I am the printer of the brochure. I'm not the distributor of the brochure. So unless you have a distributor of it, whatever I do isn't going to work. You can just totally be honest with them.
Right. And I thank you for that confirmation because, I've been designing websites since the 90s. And I came out of desktop publishing where that's what I used to do is I would just create their business cards, create
Mhm.
their brochures, create their postcards. They were overjoyed. And that was it. I would give it to them, how they distribute it, whatever was fine. Then as I started doing websites where the internet was just starting to kind of rise up, is where, you start getting that mentality where early on it kind of was like that your competitive edge as a solopreneur was that you had an online presence. But that's not the case anymore. So
And
I'll just get back to that of of that analogy because I can really
yeah,
relate to it like that.
and that's only a piece of it. For your business, this puts you in a very strategic spot to grow your business. I don't know if you see that or not.
Oh, I do. And this is the problem is I am actually I keep trying to figure out the right word for it, not decline or whatever. My husband and I we have a plan that we are on course 2027. it's totally different. Okay. Downscale. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Downgrade, downscale. So I am truly trying to, I won't say truly trying to down. I am not trying to grow my business. And why is it when you're not trying to do something is when you get the most referrals, you know?
Yeah. And what I meant by grow your business, I didn't mean by you working harder. I meant by you making more.
Yeah, but that means doing the same thing. And that's
No,
what I'm
no, no.
saying. Oh,
I don't think you are on a different path than where I'm gonna take you.
okay.
So you've got these people that want you to do the electronic brochures, do the landing pages for them.
Correct.
And what's going to happen here's what's going to happen if you don't provide them what they actually need. What they're going to do is they're going to go and they're going to find that other source that will do that. The problem is that other source is going to take your business away from you because they're either going to provide what you do or they're going to point them to one of their preferred providers and you're going to lose. So if you want to build an army of referral networks. I talk about this all the time in affiliates. You want to find all the people that anyone you come in contact with would ever need. So you become the source now. And every time you connect the dots, you make more money. So it's not about you working harder, it's about you connecting more dots. And when you connect the dots, not only do you keep the customer under your umbrella, but now you've got all these other umbrellas around you that are passing you more customers just to do that one thing that you specialize in. And they'll send them to you because you're going to send them back.
Yeah.
It's
I,
it's
I
a
I understand, and I someone in the chat, I responded to that. I'm very open to that. I've been actually doing something a little different, and that's probably what's getting me more clients. And I'm like, oop, that wasn't the right thing to do. I went the other way around. I've been collaborating with coaches and marketing strategists that are teaching all of these things, but they don't want to do it.
yeah.
And
See,
so
at
I'm
the
like,
opposite
uh-oh.
at the opposite end of this, you can do exactly what you want is work your way out of the business
Uh-huh.
by by wrapping yourself with all these providers, and you can start including providers that do exactly what you do. Now, normally you would do that as an overflow, but in your case, you can do that as a way to step out.
Yeah.
Like like at some point, probably real soon, I'm going to start sending my web customers over to Tim because I'm in the same boat. I'm ready to start backing out myself.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you want to wrap yourself with a bunch of providers that you can do that. And what will happen is you'll probably wind up making the same amount of money and doing far less work. And you keep everyone around you happy because you're feeding them with new business. And it all
Mhm.
comes back to you are the hub. It's like almost like now you're a consultant. You're no longer the worker, you're the master. They
Yeah.
all come up the hill to you for guidance and advice. And in that guidance and advice, you're giving them all of the providers they need, and all those providers are paying you on top of what they're paying you to consult with them. And you're not really doing any of the work at that point.
Yeah. Thank you for that, because that is what organically is starting to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I just wanna ride off into the sunset.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. That's what the freedom formula is for. It's so we can do that. But,
Mm,
just the strategic plan, always keep in mind that you want to be the hub. You you never want to tell somebody, "No, I don't do that." Tell
mhm.
them, "Oh, I've got somebody that can do that for you. It's one of my associates." And you just pass them right on down the assembly line. And then make sure you tell them, "Oh, if you ever need anything, let me know. We can handle everything for you." So it looks like you are the hub of provisions and they keep coming back to you. You become that referral source.
And like I said, that is what organically is happening, but I
Mhm.
did not see it, understand it, and
Yeah.
um, know how to really capitalize on it. And my client that I just got off the phone before this call, because we were kind of getting into it of that, I was like, but just me doing this landing page is not going to get what you want, kind of thing or whichever. And he was driving. And then I said, he said, well, can I call you right back? And I was like, well, no, I'm getting on this webinar right now because I think I needed to cool down. I think he needed to cool down because I was about ready to say, I don't even want to do nothing, you know. But I'll come back and say, I will find you someone that
Yeah.
will, get the traffic for you after I build this landing page.
Yeah. But the same thing that's happening to you happened to me a long time ago. And I didn't recognize it at the time either, but people started sending me all kinds of business. And it was a lot of it I didn't
Mhm.
really want,
Right.
but it kept just coming out of the woodwork. So it's nice for me to be able to shine the light on you and show you what that looks like, expand it out and how to control it and manage it and get what you want out of it.
Well, I tell you, if I'm on the path that you were on, then I'm gonna stay on that path.
It
So I can
sounds like
have
you
me a
are.
yacht.
It sounds like you are. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing about this is providing value, whether
Mm-hmm.
they're paying you for it or not. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to share my screen and show you the new lead magnet that I just made. How many of you saw the reptilian brain lead magnet that I made last week? Okay. So I thought that was really cool, but it was kind of deceitful in the way I did it. I put it out there as the reptilian brain, but then I added them to a 20-day masterclass. And as I was thinking about that over this week, I thought, yeah, some people might not like that. They might not like, being added to a master class they didn't actually sign up for. So what I did, I redeveloped the whole thing. Instead of focusing on the reptilian brain, I put out a new lead magnet for emotional buying triggers. And it's the master class. So I put in here, sell more of your stuff. Get instant access to the top 20 buying triggers that will send buyers rushing to your checkout button. So that's really speaking to what they want. That's what they think they want. It's free access. And then I put down here, these are the most powerful buying triggers used by the most successful marketers on the planet. Opt in to get instant access to all of them. And then I walk them through. They can just see what it is, but they can't access any of it until they opt in. But they can see all this stuff. And I guarantee you, half of these are going to go, I don't know what the hell sunk cost fallacy is. They probably never heard of that. A lot of these I put unique names to. So they couldn't just like go out and find it. So they're going to have to opt in if they want to see what these all are. And then notice at the end, after they've scrolled through them and their attention is real high, their FOMO is really high. I'm not making them scroll back to the top. I'm putting the opt-in right here at the bottom for them. So they can either hit it at the top or they can hit it at the bottom. It gives me the best possible chance of conversion because some of them I'll get them right here. Some of them will opt in without scrolling. But the ones that scroll, what am I doing here? I've grabbed their attention. Now I'm creating demand and desire.
Now, what is that? Is that to get them into quantum, or is that
This
a new
this is
product?
this is just free content. This is just purely free content. So these are the buying triggers that are talked about inside of the ACT program. Like you'll notice I'm using one of these or two of these or three of these almost every week on this call. I'm just not pointing it out as such. But this is all of them. Well, not all of them, but this is 20 of them. So, anyway,
So is that something we can replicate? Like, is it something that we could capitalize on?
Yes,
I'm trying to figure out why you got me over here salivating.
well, you're salivating for two reasons. Because this is something that every marketer on the planet would salivate for. This is something that every small business owner that wants to sell more of their stuff would salivate for. Do you see how this is a really, really good lead magnet? This isn't like, hey, get this free book and then you have to read it. That doesn't sound very appealing. But these are. So I'm going to go ahead and opt in here and just show you how the whole thing works. So now we've got congratulations. You're about to discover how to persuade prospects to buy your stuff. Learn each of these 20 powerful buying triggers in under 3 minutes. Like they're literally 3 minute lessons, and now you've got the buttons to buy because you opted in. So here they all are. You can go through and you go through them in order. They all feed into each other. And it's a really, really powerful masterclass. I've never put anything like this together before, yet I've been using all this stuff for years. But I literally sat down with AI and said, what would be the most powerful order to put these in? And then segued them in from one to the next. And then at the bottom, after you've gone through these 20 lessons, it'll take you about an hour. There's an hour worth of content here because they're each about 3 minutes. There's 20 of them, so you're in an hour. And then at the end, you're going to be wanting more. I guarantee you. You're going to get to the end and you're going to think you're on cloud nine. But then I say, don't stop here. There's so much more you need to know. Here's where you'll get what you need. Now I'm introducing them. This is where I'm making the marriage proposal after we've had 20 dates. You see the difference? I've got 20 dates under my belt. Now it's time. Hey, should we move this to the next level? Yeah, and then I put in here, how would you like an AI tool that creates all the buying triggers for you? That's going to be the next tool I put into Quantum. You just put in one set of things and it'll make all these 20 buying triggers for you. And join the Internet Dominator community, get access to AI tools, world-class marketing templates. I changed training to templates because training sounds like work. Templates sound like, oh, I can just copy this and do it. And you can. That's what the ACT program is all about. It is a template. It's the template that ad agencies have been using for over 100 years. The template never changes. You just drop your stuff into the template, fill in the blanks, and it works, as well as support and weekly mentorship. And then they can click here, they can go to the sales page, they can learn more about ACT, and I'll probably wind up getting a sale out of almost everybody that goes through this. Now, as an affiliate, you can give this away to make affiliate sales. This, I believe, is going to probably be the most high converting affiliate thing I've ever put out.
Okay, how do we do that, John?
So for affiliates, all you need to do is go to the affiliate, sign up, and then go to get your link.
Oh boy.
And scroll down. You've got the reptilian brain one here, and you've got the buying trigger masterclass.
Thank you.
So it's all in there. It's ready to go. I just did it. Basically, I made the whole lead magnet thing yesterday. I did all the videos. I did the whole thing one day. And then this morning I went in and I added it here so you guys would have access to it for the buying triggers. But these things, the first one is a little bit longer. You guys probably saw that because I had the reptilian brain thing in there. And I introduced it as me and, all of that. But if you want, I'll show you guys this second one. This is the anchor bias. And it's 3 minutes. And the last probably 30 to 45 seconds is an advertisement to make sure they look at the ACT program. And each one is the same way. I got 20 cracks at alluding to there's more to this picture than what you're getting. So we'll watch this. And again, this isn't even me. I literally piped the script into HeyGen and created these videos. I hope you have taken the time to put the loss aversion buying trigger to work in your marketing. So each one, when I open it up, it references the last one that you looked at. And then it goes into the current one, and then it introduces you to the next one, and then the act advertisement. Today, we are going to talk about another highly effective buying trigger. It's called the anchor bias. You don't need a better offer, you just need a better anchor. If I show you a $10,000 wristwatch, then hand you a $2,000 watch, the second one feels like a total bargain, even if you've never worn a watch in your life. That's the anchor bias. Whatever someone sees first becomes their reference point. It's their mental anchor. Every decision after that is compared to that anchor. It warps their judgment. And if you control that anchor, you control their entire perception of value. Price is never just a number, it's a story. And anchor bias is the twist to the plot. If you want to sell a $297 course, start by showing them what it costs to not have it. I spent 3 years and $40,000 figuring this out the hard way. Now, 297 doesn't feel like a cost. It feels like a shortcut. If you're selling high ticket items, then lead with something even bigger. Private clients pay me 15 grand a month, but here's what I built for you at a fraction of that. If you are trying to get your low cost offers to fly, first show them your premium package, then drop the price anchor and let the cheaper one feel like a no-brainer. Anchoring isn't manipulation, it's mental framing. People need context to make decisions, so give it to them deliberately and powerfully. He who controls the first number controls the wallet. But what if they still hesitate? What if logic isn't enough? What if they need reassurance? What if they need to know this has already worked for others who have said yes? Then you pull the next trigger, social proof. Because we humans, we don't like being first, but we love following the crowd. So that's leading into the next anchor, which is social proof. And then it goes into there's 52 seconds of advertisement. You'll learn about that in our next episode. While you are waiting for the next buying trigger to show up in your email, I would highly recommend checking out the ACT marketing protocol. It is the proven formula that ad agencies have been leveraging for over 100 years. It reveals their deepest secrets and shows you exactly how to create high converting marketing campaigns that drive sales like crazy. It now comes as a bundle that includes an AI suite of tools to automate all your marketing tasks with precision, as well as weekly Zoom calls for support and mentorship. Visit internetdominators.com/act. So that's my little advertisement on the end. So, and there's 20 of those. So if you've had a problem with price, if price has ever been an issue for you when you go to try and sell your stuff, this will solve it. Anchor bias. So there's a trigger for every problem you've probably ever encountered in the sales process here. All of them. And it's all free. So if you give that to a struggling business owner, they're going to want to glom onto you like a lifeboat because they know you are the answer to their problem. So don't just give away crap, give away high value. Did that seem like high value?
Yes.
Like solving that problem of price issue? I know you've all had it. Everyone has, or at least you think you have. If people aren't buying your stuff, there's a problem somewhere. Identifying the problems and overcoming them is the only way you're going to automate your marketing process. You've got to be able to take them through the process of grabbing attention, creating demand and desire, eliminating objections, and making an offer. If you're not doing that, you're probably not selling. If you are doing that and you're still not selling, then you've got a problem somewhere in the sequence. You need to identify where the problem is, use the proper anchors or the proper buying triggers to overcome those problems, and you'll be absolutely golden. And that's the ACT program. I mean, all of that stuff, every one of those buying triggers is embedded in the ACT program somewhere. It's just what I've done. Ryan Dice, this is something like I always tell you where I learned stuff. I've learned so many really powerful, incredible lessons from all of these marketers, and all of it resides between my ears. It's all in there. So if there's ever anything you want to know, just ask. It's there. But the thing that I learned from Ryan Dice was a thing called splintering. He said the best lead magnet you'll ever make is a splinter, where you actually give away a part of something that you're selling. And this goes back to Kern too. He'd give away 90%. He wouldn't splinter, he'd chunk off 90% and give it to you. But Ryan said, take your whole course, take one of the most powerful things that they learn out of the course and splinter it off and sell it as a tripwire. And I'm giving this away for free. It's not a tripwire, although I could do a tripwire with it, but I've never really been big on tripwires. Tripwire is where you take your big course that you really want to sell and you sell them something small ahead of time just to get them to open their wallet and make a purchase. It's a viable thing and it really works. But I've just had the way I am, the way I come off as not genuine by doing that. And I've gotten that feedback because I've tried it before. And it really kind of hurts when you hear this. When people say you're a scammer, you're selling your advertising, that was the feedback I got. And I'm just like, oh hell no. I don't want to come across like that. So I killed all my tripwire offers. I just give them the splinter for free, like Kern does, create an incredible value for them, and then ask them to move forward. Tim, go ahead.
Yeah, as you're saying that, I'm here creating for a new opt-in for my website business, and it was giving away my story content writing guide, but I've turned it into a program, and I was trying to make it so they can go through the program for free, but I was trying to figure out what to make the highlight to charge them like $7 just so I can get them to give me money from
Yeah.
it. And I'm looking at like possibly like taking the AI prompts off and putting that in a separate section saying, hey, if you buy the VIP course for $7, you get the AI prompts. Does that
Well, you're
give me some
trying to,
feedback on that? Because you know what, when it says website design, you know what I'm doing. Yeah.
yeah, you're trying to get them to basically buy a website project.
Well, in this case here, it's just a program that it's my giveaway is trying to say, writing content because you know how many times we have people who can't write their content. So I
So,
basically made a storyline content guide. All
okay.
right. I put it in 9 steps. Here's your headline. All right. And I broke it down to each step. Well, that's how I've been building websites, content for people who don't have content. Well,
Okay.
I decided to make that as a free offer for people going here. This is a guide to help
Okay.
you write your content. By the way, but I want to I think this is what I want to do. And is I have an AI prompt. So if you gave me all your information, I go into AI and say, hey, here's the
Yeah.
prompt to write this section.
I think there's a better one for you
Yeah.
because what you're doing is you're giving them free stuff to do something they don't want to do anyway, which is create content,
Yeah.
right? They don't want to do that.
Okay.
So I think a better lead magnet for you would be a buyer's guide, so to speak. And what the buyer's guide is going to do for you is it's going to set buying criteria that has
Okay.
all roads lead to you.
All right.
So you can give them like Like, don't build a website until you've seen these 20 buying triggers. I'm just going to use the buying triggers as an example. There's 20 buying triggers that you should have built into your website. And if your web designer doesn't know this, you need a new web designer.
Okay.
And then you tell them, and I actually did one of these. I forget what I called it, but I think I called it the top 50 conversion tactics that you can put into your website, you can add to your website. And I was so freaking lazy. I made the idea, I made the landing page, and then I realized I didn't have the the content for it, and I didn't want to write it, so I just started up a video. I gave a list of the bullet points of what the things were, and then I just got on Zoom and I recorded me just walking through each one, telling them how it worked.
Mm.
And so it never actually wound up even being a book. It's a video.
Well, yeah, I did this. So I did this last night. Like I said, I'm 90% done. I just don't have, I mean, I was going to record videos to go with it,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was like something like, okay, I already have this. Um, I had to just organize it, and I went into ChatGPT and organized it to
Yeah.
make it a program.
Yeah. But I think you'd be better off to do that because you're setting buying criteria for them to want to buy the website from you.
Okay.
And what you can do is you can say, we have three different levels of website development. One of them is basic and it doesn't have any of this. It's just like everyone else's.
Hmm.
And if that's what you want, you should probably just go with the web developer that'll give you the cheapest price because
Yeah.
it's not going to work.
Yeah.
If you go to the middle tier, we implement, 10 of these 20 things to help you convert. And if you're a big hitter and you want all of them, then you go for the top tier.
Okay.
And you just templatize all those things to drop into their website. And now you're selling websites for 3 times the price.
Okay.
I would do that.
Okay. I'm gonna get the recording and I'm gonna go back over that.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be way more effective for you.
Thanks.
So, all right, let's see. I see you, Lynn. I'll get you. We've got Arba. Is your hand still up or is that up again?
No, it's up because I have a question. I was able to answer the first part of my question because I was trying to get to the what you just showed us, the buying trigger masterclass.
Yes.
And whew, it's a web, but I figured that out how to get to my affiliate link. So my question is, there's the phone number that's in the upper right. Whose phone number is that? And like, why is that there on our affiliate link?
The 97697?
Yeah,
That's
968. Yes,
7697. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just my office line. What I've found is if you've got a big fish, the big fish isn't going to fill in the form. The big fish wants to talk to somebody. So
Okay,
so
so
that's
if
a hook. That's a hook up there.
right, so but if we're using our affiliate link, then if someone does call that number, how do you know that it was from our affiliate link?
It those basically are a 1 in a million type of thing.
Uh-huh.
Like for instance, that number might get called a couple of times a year. And when that number gets called and it's a big fish, I'm talking to them, finding out how they got there, all of that stuff. And I pretty much know how they came through.
Okay.
So it's not really a big concern. Um, I could I could actually take it off if it's a problem for you or whatever. I could
Well,
actually.
not a problem because I do agree with having phone numbers on.
Mhm.
I put my number on a lot of my landing pages.
Yeah.
It's just that I've some affiliate links are have a dynamic that will be a dynamic field where you it would pull from your profile and put your phone number in there or something. That's kind of why I was asking that is I don't mind
Gotcha,
phone
gotcha.
number.
Yeah,
but
I don't have that built in, as far as a dynamic on there. If if there's somebody that's going to do, like, let's say you were going to do a webinar. Let's say you were going to, really promote the heck out of it, or you wanted to do paid ads or something like that. If you had a specific thing, just let me know. I can just copy that landing page and put your phone number on it for you and just make that unique to you.
Mhm.
That's
or or
that's super easy.
Or kind of technically, which I don't want to do, but could be that if I just replicated this first page, because all this is you're just trying to get the email. You're trying to, it's a lead, like
Correct.
you said, it's a lead magnet. So you're just trying to get their information, but that second page is like total, you can just send them to that second page.
Correct. You could absolutely do that.
Right.
The
All
other
right.
thing, if you've got Kartra, let's say you've got a Kartra account, I
Mhm.
can bundle the whole thing up as a template for you and give it to you.
Yeah, no, I don't. I just have the Kartra affiliate.
Okay. Okay. But anybody that has Kartra and you want to replicate that, I can do that. And then you could change out your own content if you want, or you can use mine, or, whatever you want to do. It's fine.
All right. I just needed to talk that through, but I may very well just do just the first part. You know what I'm saying? I've got because I do a lot of training and as long as I just get them and say, "Hey, I've got something you can get all these emotional buying triggers, just fill this out." I don't have to like do all the stuff below it because I got people that are so hungry. They're
Yeah.
probably not going to read
Yeah.
all that anyway.
So if you guys want to get in there and get access to it, I just put the link in the chat. If you want to sign up and get access to all the buying triggers, you guys all have this anyway, because inside the ACT program, when you go to the content, the C, so when you go to the C field, you'll notice there's a new tab under there, and it's called Buying Trigger Masterclass. And I put all of these in there. So anybody that's in the program, you don't have to opt in to get these. You have them in the membership.
Is it on Quantum or the ACT part?
And this is on the ACT program.
Thank you.
So you've got under the creation, yeah, on the tab at the top, you've got analysis, creation, and traffic. It's under the creation tab. It'll roll out a menu, and you'll see the buying trigger masterclass right there. And it's every one of these. It's not quite as pretty as the landing page I put together. It's just one right over the other going all the way down the chute. And because you're already in ACT, you can just skip the end where I'm trying to sell you ACT every time. All right. We'll go Delilah, Randy, and then Lynn.
Yes, hello. This is all very exciting. Um, I was going to first say, actually, the discussion earlier about messaging and all that, and then driving traffic to your business, it was really helpful for me because I'm excited. I think I have my messaging dialed in thanks to you, John, and the
Yeah,
act
you're getting
program and everything. I did a talk the other night at a real estate company. There was a very small number of participants that showed up because this is like the first time they're doing it, this in-person thing, but it was a really great experience for me. And I did sign up some new students, so it's very exciting. So I realized the messaging is on point, thanks to you guys.
awesome.
And thanks to you, John, and the ACT program and everyone here and the great questions you guys ask. The question I have is I'm kind of in a situation where I really don't have a lot of leads. I don't have a lead magnet yet. I'm going to put one together. Thanks for talking about it today. But I'm so different people, and they're totally right, have suggested I need to get on social media, do those YouTube shorts, the Instagram shorts, get on TikTok, all that stuff. It feels a little overwhelming for me because I'm very busy right now. I'm like full-time crypto. Like I'm putting a lot of time into research and analysis, and things are going really well. And I don't want to take away too much time. I'm considering the possibility of hiring someone where I can give them my content and they can just cut it up for me and do it. Or I was thinking about the possibility of using AI to do this. What do you recommend or what do you suggest? And if I used an AI tool and or hired someone, what are your suggestions on that
Well,
or thoughts about that?
using AI would be foolish not to,
Yeah.
because AI can create content at lightning speed compared to hiring somebody to do that. Where you might want to hire somebody is either to use AI to create lightning speed content for you. I wouldn't hire somebody that's doing this at a snail's pace and trying to build the stuff out themselves. You want somebody that's going to create, like wheelbarrows full of content in no time at all for very little money now, because with AI, it's brought the value way down on content. But what you really need is you need somebody to distribute that content. That's where I would consider paying someone for distribution to get traffic. Like SEO, for instance. SEO is a traffic source. That's one way to get traffic. It's really time consuming, and it's not something that I would recommend any of you try and do yourself. It takes way too much time. It's way too tedious. You can get somebody that will do that for, pennies on the dollar compared to what you're worth. The idea of running a business for freedom is not to create work for yourself. You can hire somebody that has that skill set. You can hire somebody that has the skill set of running paid ads. You want to make sure, though, that you get somebody that has the skill set of not just the mechanics of setting up and running the ads, because any monkey can do that. You want somebody that has the skill set to actually run ads that are going to convert and know what that looks like and knows how to follow them and track them and analyze them and tweak them and get them better. That's somebody you might want to look for. The other thing is, if you don't want to do that, if you don't have budget to buy traffic, which a lot of people don't getting started, you look for, and I've said this over and over and over, either look for a JV broker that has access to all the people that have your people on their list, they'll hook you up and they'll set up webinars and presentations for you. The affiliate takes their cut, the JV broker takes their cut, and then you're left with whatever's left over. In my opinion, for me, that's been the best way for me to go about it, because I don't like time loss and frustration and all that. And I've experienced a lot of that weeding through people that are paid, so-called paid traffic specialists. There's a lot of them. It's like hiring a coach that doesn't has never coached anybody. There's a gazillion coaches out there that specialize in coaching that have never coached anybody. Well, it's the same thing. There's a gazillion SEO guys out there that have never done it, have never been successful at it. They're still willing to take your money and waste your time. So, you got to be careful of that. So for me, the affiliate thing, it's a pay to play. It's like, if they don't send you any sales, you don't pay them. They earn money by sending you sales. So if you've got 100 of them and 98 of them don't do anything, you haven't lost anything. And you might find the two that will, just pour buckets of money into your pockets. So that's a really good way for you guys to start, is to find either people that have your list and are willing to, promote you and trade for affiliate commissions, or, you know, that's probably the best route to go for me anyway.
How do you find the JV brokers?
That is a great question. They're just like hunting somebody, like lead prospecting. Most of them you'll find on LinkedIn.
Mm.
Look under the title of JV broker. There's trade shows, there's affiliate trade shows. They all go to the affiliate trade shows. You can advertise in the trade shows websites, and they've got believe it or not, they still have magazines. You can advertise in their magazines.
Alignable.
Yeah, alignable, any place where people hang out and network, you can find affiliates and JV brokers.
What are your thoughts on developing the social media content?
I would say any content, look at the content all as lead magnets. It's
Hmm.
all stuff to give away free content to get them to know, like, and trust you and draw them in. You might give away, like for social media, you want to give away a lot of stuff that has no opt-in on it, but leads them to an opt-in.
Hmm.
Like if you like this content, subscribe for more. And then you hit your subscribers with your offers. So again, it's staging them in. It's not asking for the marriage proposal on the first date. You've got to do it in those micro commitments. I've talked about micro commitments a lot. So
And the idea of what type of program would I use to create the social media content at a rapid pace?
I would say any AI program is going to be able to knock that stuff out for you in fractions of a second.
You mean even Perplexity, or what about that Franken
Complexity, all
thing?
the tools, you've got all the tools inside the quantum suite for images, for headlines. You can use the headlines as meme headlines.
Hmm.
Drop those on images. There's CapCut for doing video. You can drop an hour long video in CapCut. It'll rip it apart and make you, 50 shorts out of it.
Mhm. Awesome. I like that.
So
Yeah, that's a
there's
great idea.
lots,
I thought
there's
about CapCut. Hmm.
yeah, there's tons of ways to create social media content.
Okay, that's good. Because I got to a point where social media was taking so much time. Not for my business. I wasn't even doing any social media for my business, but it was just taking up so much time. I just quit social media completely. I know that that's probably not the best strategy either. So
Yeah.
to get back into
It
it.
and again,
What I'm doing now,
it
what
depends
I'm
on
doing
where
now
your
is
customers are. If your customers are on social media, you should not ignore it.
Oh, I know for sure. It's another avenue. I think it's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. All
what
right.
I'm doing now is I'm using a program called Submagic, which is kind of like CapCut,
Uh-huh.
um, except what it does is using AI, it will generate B-roll. And so what I'm doing now is I used Quantum and an app that I created to create social media scripts. So I have these scripts that give me like 3.5 minute videos, which is good for little YouTube videos. And I record them in batches. And in fact, I did a batch last night. I did 18 of them in a couple hours. And I'm doing them live. I haven't created a Hey Gen avatar like John. I'm not there yet. So I'm actually standing in front of the camera and I'm recording batches of them. And then they get uploaded to Submagic. And this program is really cool. And I don't have an affiliate link for it. I should. But what it does is it uses AI based on what you're saying to suggest B-roll. And so then as you edit it, you pick the B-roll and it will alternate your talking head video with B-roll that goes with your subject matter. And then
Excellent.
and then it's also really easy to put titles, and it transcribes automatically and puts the closed captioning text at the bottom, and then there's various options on changing the font and where it goes and blah blah blah. And then you can take that same video and resize it for if you want it for YouTube, if you want it for Facebook, if you want it for Instagram, if you want it to be a YouTube short, because all of those have different dimensions. And so you can take the same video, resize it for different things, and then it has this awesome feature. They call it magic clips, and what it will do is it will do what CapCut does, and it will take your video and it will pull snippets out of it. And so out of my 3.5 minute video, it'll pull like a dozen little short things that that then can be used as YouTube shorts or as the Facebook stories or Instagram stories. It's the best
Do you know
thing
which
I've
product?
found recently. What?
Gina,
What
which
what are
product did you
It's
mention
called
that's like CapCut that you're using?
it's called Sub Magic.
if you've got a link, put it in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you,
Uh,
Gina.
let me find it. Too bad I don't have an affiliate link. But I'll give you the
Yeah, shame on you for not having an affiliate link.
I know I should have signed up, and they have an affiliate program. But I was figuring out how to use it, and hang on, I'm gonna go to the main chat. I'll
And
drop
then
it here.
Delilah and your white label, you could actually create tools to do social media content for specifically for what you want. Uh, Linda is making a cool one. I don't know if she's done with it yet or not, but she was going to have a meme maker that would make social media memes for her based on, any subject matter.
That's a great idea. I like that.
So
So
you
I
can do
made an
that as
app
your
that was
white label.
specific for my audience, which you can do because you have the white label. I made an app specific for my audience where I took my long definition of my avatar and it is hard coded behind in the code. And so when I use the app, it knows who it's talking to. I don't have to tell it every single time. And
Oh,
so
that's
I just put in the topic that we're talking about and the level of awareness on that topic, and it is generating a script for different platforms. It generates prompts for making images, and it writes a blog post, and it even gives me a podcast a script that's of course much longer on the different topics. I've done 50 of them so far.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Regarding inputting my avatar, if I'm doing this stuff for social media, because before I was doing more long form uh, marketing, but like for social media, the audience might be just a little bit younger than the avatar that I've created. Does that matter at all, or is it still going to work the same? Or do I need to make that adjustment?
You want to be as specific as possible for your audience, even if you're
Yep.
making multiple and, planting them in different places.
So I may have to adjust my avatar then for the social media campaigns.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, good.
All right, Randy, go ahead.
So, hey, John, how you doing? Quick question. I went to the website for the that you put in the link, and I guess I got confused. What is that website, that landing page? Is that just the masterclass?
Yes.
Okay, so then in addition to that, in order to get the affiliate for creating, where do we find that affiliate link? Because I went into the main
So
site
so
and I
you
don't
would
see it anywhere.
you would log into your affiliate program inside Kartra. You have to
Eh,
log into the affiliate section, the
Which
affiliate
I
portal.
I did that and I see all of your stuff.
So it's under the ACT program. You're going to click on the ACT button and then
Okay.
and then
So
get
the ACT marketing protocol, because there's
uh-huh.
three or four different acts.
Yeah, you want the ACT marketing protocol. And then after you click on that, click on Get My Links and then scroll all the way to the bottom of the list. It's the last one in the list.
Get my links. My link. So you have to click on the link?
Yeah,
No,
when you click on the ACT marketing protocol over on the right, I think there's a Get My Links.
I don't see that.
Can you share your screen?
Absolutely.
Let's see where you're at here.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's a scavenger hunt.
I know it looks different for you guys than it does for me and the admin, so
Oh yeah.
that's
Okay,
all I wanted to
so
see.
we're in the right place right here.
Okay, yep. So click on the ACT marketing protocol. See where it says My Link on the right?
My link. Okay.
Right there. Yep. Click that and then click on your affiliate link and then go all the way to the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So keep
Got it.
scrolling down. There it is, Buying Trigger Masterclass.
Got it. Okay.
So that's your link.
So then final question. I must be missing something. I went to Internet Dominators, and when I go there, there's it looks like you've changed something on the on your main website because it shows um, different ways of getting in, right? So
Yeah.
if you go there and you scroll down, you get to or you go to client logins, and then from there, I should be able to log in. So billing for membership is on the left, commercial clients on the right, but above that is access to your memberships. But when I click in there, I can't get in from there.
Okay. I'll have to take a look at that.
So my question is, if you take a look at it and somehow you can send me another link or another uh, because if I click on it right now and I can share my screen, it's
Well, shoot me an email on what you're trying to get to, and I'll see what maybe I'm missing a link or something in there.
yeah, because and so my question is, can you have one for everything?
No.
Yeah. All right.
Links
Because
go to specific pages, so I've got to identify like all the different things I would need links for and put them in there.
got it. Okay.
So yeah, just tell me what I'm missing and I'll add it in.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, Lynn, you're up, and then Aaron. So Lynn, you just need to unmute. There you go.
All right, I've mastered how to put my hand up now.
Okay.
Put it in the chat, so I'm getting there. This is a very basic question. It's
Okay.
very complex to me, but I think everyone on this little line can answer it for me. I'm thrilled with the ACT program, and I'm whizzing through it, and I'm whizzing through my workbook, and I'm stumped because my customer avatar doesn't have a name. I don't know her because she's not. I've done all your searches in the different apps. My customer avatar is buying my tours for 3,000 attendees at a conference.
Okay.
So I'm getting the input back, no matter what code words I put in, I'm getting the input back on those millennials that want to take a trip and do leisure travel. It's not telling me about the person at Office Depot who bought the first 4,000. How do I outsmart it?
So are you using any of the AI tools to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm making it up. It says, what's your niche? So I've tried as much as, let's say, corporate marketing people who are buying tours for employees at conventions.
Okay. So you're going right to the AI. If you go in here into the Quantum Suite and you click on the Act Marketing Toolbox, I've got a build a buyer tool in here that will tell you exactly who your buyer is. This does all the work of filling out the workbook for you.
Well, shit.
So the first thing you want to do is go to the market segmenter and put in your specific market. Like if you're doing, I don't think you're doing travel, you're doing more conference travel or, something like that. And then it'll give you the top 10 segments. And then once you identify the segment, you go back to the buyer tool and you put in the market segment and what your actual product is, and it'll give you a full workup on who the ideal customer is. And then you can basically replace this with that in the workbook. This will do all the magic for you.
Wow. Even though the person that's using my product is not the person that's buying my product. I don't care about John Smith who's heading out to Philadelphia. I don't
Correct.
need to,
Correct.
to know if he's been divorced twice or not. But
That's a
person,
really good point that you make, because when you said the person that's buying your product isn't the person that's using it, that's a really distinctive point you guys need to understand. Like I ran into this in the drug rehab niche. I had people that were trying to sell into the drug rehab niche, and they were doing all their research about the addict. And I'm like, that's not your customer. Grandma is going to pay the bill on this.
right.
You need to figure out grandma. You need to speak to grandma. the person that's getting it is irrelevant in the marketing process. You have to market to the one that's paying the bill. So that sounds like it's the same in your case. You got to figure out who the actual buyer is.
But I
I
know
ran into that same thing when we were offering scanning services for medical records, back scanning. This was back, it was like 10 years ago when there was money from the High Tech Act, and we had all this messaging for the doctor and the doctor's office about how it would make their life better if they went digital and they went onto an EMR system. And what we learned is that the office manager is the gatekeeper, and she does not give two shits about the doctor's quality of life. She cares about her own quality of life.
Yeah.
well, so I couldn't probably do an avatar on grandma, first of all. And I know their job description. I know who these people are. I know their names at different corporations, but they're also very different. Um,
Well, try the tools in Quantum. Try the market segmentation to get your segment,
got that.
and then put in your product or what you're actually selling, and let it generate the buyer profile for you. That'll be your avatar.
Okay, I'll try that. I haven't been to that little app.
Give that a shot. It's like absolute magic.
Okay, thank you.
As you're doing what you're doing, the way you're doing it, it's kind of the way we were doing it before we had AI. Since I've added all these quantum tools, the quantum tools does a lot of the heavy lifting for you in the whole analysis process.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm not really a startup. I have customers, and
Yeah.
although I've never learned how to properly speak to them, I know who they are. And
Okay.
I know how diverse. There's no Meg in there that's 38 years old. I know how diverse they are.
Yeah.
Um,
You
I'll
know,
just try
in
that new one.
in some cases, there has been some cases like that. Like let's say your solution is headache. Let's say you have a solution for a headache. It could be anybody, right? So what happens is your avatar actually becomes a symptom. It's your avatar is not a person, it's a symptom. So in some cases you have to look through a different lens to get this right. So if it's a symptom, literally any person could have that symptom. So the symptom becomes more important than the actual person of who it is.
Can we call it a problem instead of a symptom?
Sure. Yeah.
Let me try that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. That's
Okay,
been like
sure.
driving me batshit for weeks.
I should actually make a tool that's it creates a buyer profile for a symptom versus a person. That would be probably really helpful.
I'm ready.
I'll take a look at tweaking that one and making one for that for you. But try the one that's in there and see what happens. I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. I don't know how I skipped over it because I've tried them all out and they're brilliant. They're
Thanks.
spot on again because I know a lot of these customers and everything has been spot on. And then I get to that Meg at 38 years old and I'm stumped.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll try the new one you suggested. Thank you.
All right, Aaron, go ahead.
Hi. Sorry, I have nap time ending right here.
Oh, no worries.
So I was part of your group years ago, and now I'm back with a new business I'm starting, and I'm trying to with your tools, and I was having trouble figuring out which like AI drawing program to use.
Okay.
Saying kept coming back uber realistic, even when I did cartoon or, you know, selecting things that I thought would make it really simple. So I'm just wondering if I'm using the wrong program because it's hardwired into realism.
Okay. So there's a bunch of different tools in there. If we go back to the Quantum Suite and you go to the
Yeah.
image tools, my
Yeah.
my favorite is probably the Act Imager.
That was the one I tried. I probably spent half a day and rewording and just simplify. And it was constantly giving me 3D images. And I'm
So
just basically looking. Yeah.
so this one here, you've got the art director, the AI photo director. You can try on and off, try toggling that. If that doesn't work, you can go over, there's another tool called the Hero Image Pro. This one
Okay.
this one gives you a lot more input. Like you can turn on photorealism here. You can put emotion that you want. You can still put your prompt in there, but there's a lot more you can do, and you've got advanced options here.
Yeah, and I was messing around with that one too, and it was always um giving me 3D images, and I was like flat 2D, um and it just wasn't getting it. And I would say, like, for example, I wanted a leaf skeleton, just simple 2D. And I said, zoom in on just the veins. And it kept showing me this full leaf skeleton in 3D. And I was like, I just couldn't figure out how. I'm like, it's probably me saying things wrong.
Yeah, the other thing you might try is go back in here, and there's a prompt maestro.
I
The
tried
the
that too.
prompt maestro can help write an actual prompt for you.
I
So
did that, and I did it back in the act imager for like a different image I was trying to create. And it's like I have it in my head. I'm a designer, but I'm still getting familiar with the tools, and I'm trying to just, before these boys start walking, which is they're taking their first steps, I'm like, my life is going to change.
yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, cool. I'll use AI tools and then I'll tweak it to make it my own, but I can't seem to get like the image in my head enough of a like starter image for me.
What about the retouchify?
Yeah, you could try that.
Because like I'm hearing her saying that she's getting it somewhat the way she wants it, and then but just wants to change something of it. So maybe Retouchify
Yeah,
could help.
Retouchify, you can upload an image and then tell it how you want it changed.
Oh, perfect.
So it'll basically
Okay.
take the
I know
baseline.
I do have some of those. But the problem is I have ideas in my head and I'm just trying to get them out as like a basic template that I can manipulate, and it's too complex. I just need simple vector style.
Yeah, did you put vector style in the prompt?
Yep.
Okay. So what you might do is see if you can find a stock image or something that's
Okay.
close to like what you want.
Yeah.
Put it into Retouchify and then tell it what you want to do with it.
Okay.
Or say,
Yeah.
based on this, I want this style, but I want this output.
Okay.
That way you're training it.
Yeah. And also, I noticed that in each app there's a little video of how to use it. Is there like an overall video of you saying like, this is all that we have? You know,
I
no.
I do have I have like overview videos where I went through quantum like in the very beginning and went through like that. But if you go, let's see. Yeah, you can do a search in here if you're looking for something specific. and you can, you can find them that way.
Yeah. Well, it's also like I don't know what I don't know. So it's like I saw you
So
go over the ACT program.
like for image here, it gives you the description
Okay.
of what they're doing. So if you want to get the description, just go to the search function and put it in, and it'll show you the description for each one.
Cool.
So you could
Okay.
you could go that. And one more thing I want to show you guys while we're here, while I'm in here, is a couple of new tools that are added in here. And one of them here is AI Assistant. So AI Assistant is where you could create like a bot. And you'll notice I created here the Ask John bot. So now inside Quantum, you can go in here to the Ask John bot, and it's got the knowledge base of all of the ACT training in there. So if there was something that you were looking for, you could do that. The other thing in the AI bots, and this is like if you're doing this stuff for clients, you can go in here and you can create a basic chat bot to put on their website. Like here, you'll notice I've got an Ask John bot. And when you go into the code, you can get the snippet. You can paste that snippet onto your website, and then your website will have that bot on it, which is really cool. And you can build these for clients. So when I go to my website, see the John bot? He's down here in the corner. It's because I pasted that code into my actual website here. When I click on the John bot, there's the chat bot. This has my knowledge base. So somebody could literally get answers from me right off my website without being an ACT member. And this is really cool. So it's not quite as good as the Becky bot. Like we've got one that's for a Becky bot, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It's much more graphical and all that. I have this one asking for, for name. Like I can put my name in there and put my email. And now it's collected that as a lead, and it says, "Welcome to Internet Dominators. How can I help you?" And I'll put here, "Do you have an affiliate program?" And then it'll answer that and tell you all about it. So I've noticed it takes a little bit. Yes, there's an affiliate program available. You can sign up by visiting internetdominators.com, scrolling to the bottom of the page and click on Become an Affiliate. The affiliate program uses Kartra, where you'll find various products and links to promote. So it picked this up off of one of the answers that I did out of a recorded call from years ago, where I said exactly that. And it went back through all my stuff, found the answer, boom, put it on here. So I'll never have to answer that question again. I can just say, yeah, use the Ask John bot. It'll tell you anything you want to know. So if you were to do this for a customer or even for yourself, you just load it up with a knowledge base and away you go. You can train it on anything you want it to know. So it's pretty cool stuff. And if you go in here, like let's say we go into the settings, this is where you give the bot the instructions and you tell it which knowledge base. So you can set up a knowledge base. You can also do AI interaction. So this will actually use AI to help it interact. If you go in here and you do the chatbot settings, you can name the bot. You can say, initially open. It's not initially open, it's just the icon. So you have to click it to open it. You can do auto start a conversation, which I do. When they open it, it auto starts. And there's the greeting. here is collect name and email at the beginning of the conversation, and then I put the little icon up there and the color scheme. So this is pretty cool stuff if you want to use chatbots and build your own chatbot. And then also the knowledge base that's in here in the bots, you can create a knowledge base. So the John bot, it's trained with 14 different documents. So if I go in here, I can see the different documents that are used to train this. And these things go like all the way back to 2018. So the John bot is trained on every call I've done since 2018 to present. So he knows a lot. And you can see, you can train it on files, URLs, manual documents. You can even create AI documents to train your bot. So this is some really, really cool stuff. It's not near as advanced as the Becky bot. If you want something that's like really high tech, the Becky bot that's more the one. But just wanted to share that with you guys because bots is a big thing. People, there's a lot of people that have created business out of creating bots and they're making a lot of money. If you're looking for a niche to fill, anybody that has a website that doesn't have a bot on it, the website is dead. In the future, if you go to a website and it doesn't have an AI assistant on it, which is a bot, they're going to assume it's dead and they're not going to be able to get the answers they want in real time and they're just going to go somewhere else. So that's going to be a big thing, is supplying services to put those bots or those agents, whatever you want to call them, on people's websites.
Did the John bot take less time than the Becky bot to put together, or is it
It's about the same.
about the same?
About the same, because you're training it with the personality. You're setting the settings, which are just toggle switches, and then you're attaching the training, which is the knowledge base, basically.
Does the training, if it's in video form, need to be converted into transcripts?
I think it's better to do that. That's what we did. Like we took all of our videos and we transcribed them, put them into text documents or PDFs, and we loaded those all up. Because if it were a video, I mean, think about the hours and hours of video from 2018 to present. It would have to literally chew through watching, hundreds of hours of video. So,
But it
John, does AI Quantum have a video transcriber bot app in it yet, or can you do that?
I think I put transcriptions in there. Let me see. There's so many tools in there now. I forget what all I've added. Okay, let's see. Branding, business, video.
If not, I know you can do it with Vimeo.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I've got a transcription tool in there just yet. But yeah, there's a lot of tools. I actually use Revoicer myself. I use Revoicer. It's got a function in there where you can transcribe any audio or video file.
Well, where do you store? Where are your videos? Are all of your videos on YouTube?
I have a lot of videos on YouTube. I've got a lot in Kartra as well. I've got the unlimited video hosting package through Kartra. So any of my proprietary videos and stuff are usually inside Kartra. That way they're available through the membership sites and and all my Kartra assets.
Okay, because I just mentioned Vimeo because that's where all my training videos are, and so I'm killing two birds with one stone. If I ever want to transcribe it, edit
Oh
it,
yeah.
or well, of course, store, edit, create showcases,
Yeah.
download transcripts, all in one.
I'm pretty sure that in Zoom, like when we do our Zoom calls here, I'm pretty sure there's a transcription in there as well.
Yeah, but Zoom you can't unless you're going to pay for it. Zoom you can't store all of your, you don't want to store all of your videos on Zoom.
Yeah, you just download them. Like I
Right.
download all the stuff, every week.
Yeah, so I was just saying if you were downloading, where were you storing them? Because I download, store them on Vimeo and do everything there.
Okay.
When I downloaded all of them, Marva, I used TurboScribe AI. I'm not
Mhm.
sure of the capacity limit. I believe no, actually it was the paid version, $20 because believe me, that many videos took a lot of time.
Oh
But
yeah.
TurboScribe AI has its own, word library, and it also has features where you can actually go straight into like ChatGPT if you want to do stuff with the transcription, which is pretty cool. But you can do PDF, text file. There's a lot of different stuff with TurboScribe AI.
And it's only going to get better, worse, whatever the word is. There's going to be an AI, like they say there's an app for that, there's an AI for that. Oh, yeah. Competition going to be crazy.
Yeah, so you guys can probably tell I've been pretty busy knocking all this stuff out, building bots and knowledge bases, and Brady's been transcribing all the videos and making lead magnets. And we have Chris Rimple and his team are actually building a phenomenal funnel out for me for ACT as well at the same time. And I just saw some of the email sequence that they put together. And I'm just like blown away at how good these guys are. They're actually acting as an ad agency now. So they're following the ACT protocol. And when I'm reading their emails, the emails are from me. I did not write the emails, but it's like these things are telling my life story. Like they've done interviews, they've done multiple hour interviews with me to, basically learn my history and everything. And they're amazing at the rewrites of what they're doing, what they're creating. It's really cool. And they're piecing it together in a way that I probably wouldn't be able to do myself for myself. I do this all day long for everybody else, but when it comes back to me, I just seem to choke. So they're doing a really, really phenomenal job. So that'll be another lead magnet that you guys will have if any of you want to do affiliate marketing for the ACT program. So you could make a fair amount of money too, by the way, promoting this, because I know you guys all know people in business that are struggling. Like of all the people there's probably few that are not struggling. And anybody that is struggling could use this stuff, or even people that want to build a business, could get in here, learn how to just do one thing, like learn how to build bots and put bots on websites. You could make a living out of that. You could replace your day job with something as simple as that. And, when you put bots on people's sites, there's not really a cost to you on an ongoing basis to maintain them, but you can charge for ongoing maintenance and support. So, somebody might pay you $100 a month to run a bot on their site. And if you get, 100 of those, you got a pretty good chunk of money coming in every month forever. So, and once somebody does something like that, once they put something like that onto their site, they never want to let go of it. They never want to let it go. That's the loss aversion. They won't want anyone to take that away from them. So they'll wind up defending it and paying for it and figuring out how they're going to keep it. So it's a great way to make your clients sticky, make them stick forever. So, Delilah, did you have your hand up again, or is that just left up?
Oh, it's just a follow-up question.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned it was a good idea to tweak the avatar for the new audience on social. Question is, do I start from scratch, build a buyer, or is there a way to tweak what I already have? What would you
It
suggest?
it depends on how different they are. It's probably best just to create a new one, and then you can look at them side by side and decide, okay, is it really that much different? Or
Mhm.
you might learn from both, and you might interchange some of the stuff.
Would they have the same problems or the problems are a little bit different?
The cool thing about AI is it'll come up with different stuff every time. Like if you run the same buyer profile multiple times, it will create a unique profile for you.
That'll
So
be really cool.
yeah, so it wouldn't hurt at all to like compare them. If you ran the same one twice, compare them, change it slightly, run it, compare them. You know, there's no there's no real right or wrong to this as far as like a science. This is more of an art.
Hmm.
We're using science, we're using psychology, we're using all that, but then we're using our own creativity to weave it into what's going to work. And then we go back to science. We kind of vacillate from creativity to science. We go back to science for analyzing the results. Then we go back to creativity to tweak them, and then we run the results again. So we keep bouncing back and forth between the creative world and the scientific world to create the ultimate conversion scheme.
Got it. Something interesting I did notice with my avatar, some of the concerns were mainly, being ahead of their peers or their colleagues, being like the first in something. But what I did notice when I watched a lot of social, it seems like a lot, just through the comments and things that I see, the people's motivation's different. They are more concerned about doing well in crypto so they can either get a girlfriend or a wife.
Well, that's a totally different outcome. That's a totally different avatar.
It really is, actually, now that I think about it. So I
I
should really go back to square one for the social media.
Yeah, I know several people in my life that they they really don't pursue a relationship because they don't feel worthy because they haven't had a success yet.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
they put off love for success first. They prioritize that, which it really shouldn't be that way. If somebody's going to, be attracted to you only because of your success, that's probably not the person that's right for you.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's kind of a screwed up mentality, but you're right, it does exist, and you have to figure out like what's in their head so you can meet them there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm excited about this new avatar.
But yeah, that is a completely different avatar because you've got on the other side, the one I always think about in your situation is the ones that are like they want insider trading information. They want to take, they want an advantage.
Yes.
They want a loophole. They want a secret no one else has that's going to make them rich.
Hmm.
So that's a totally different cat than the one that's, needs to be successful so he can find a girlfriend. That's a totally different avatar.
Yeah. Totally different, that's for sure. Different problems.
Yeah, that's like the difference between a kitten and a cougar.
For sure. Absolutely.
All right. Well, cool. We're doing it. Speaking of crypto, we're doing our next crypto mastermind this afternoon at 2. I know a lot of you guys are already in that, and it's really that whole marketplace is really heating up for anybody that wants, talk about an unfair advantage. Somebody that wants to get ahead. Um, I always talk about time compression, and I use NLP and different things to compress time to get outcomes much faster. And I've pretty much done that my whole life. And with this is like a way to compress time of multiplying your retirement funds to get to the place where you need to be in the time that we have. And so it's pretty cool stuff. So for those of you that are in that, I will see you guys at 2, which is in a couple hours or Actually, not even hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 15 minutes. See you then.
All right. I'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk to you all then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, John. Wow, thank you. Thank you. See you later.
Okay.
Thank you, John.